Hi, I'm Pat Fiume. I've been a realtor for over 30 years. I'm a host of the American Dream Show. Welcome to my show, Is This for Real Estate? Welcome back. I'm here with Jason Cesarski. He's with the JUNKSTER. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So you remove junk.
I do, yep.
So what kind of things do you do related to real estate and in general?
A lot of realtors come to me with like, oh, we're selling a house, this stuff's left over, can you remove it? Mm-hmm. I'll come in, yeah, we can do it, this is what it's going to cost. I run it to the seller, the client, and then we remove it, more or less.
And you do, like, I guess, estates and foreclosures or evictions, things like that. You come in and empty the house for them.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of foreclosures, last minute stuff.
Yeah.
We got to put this house on the market. We got to get this stuff out of here.
Or the car that's been there for 20 years, right? Stuff like that.
I mean, I've got a motorcycle and a Vespa, but I haven't had a car. That would be nice. So
my son bought a house and there was a car left with it, and nobody knew where the title or the keys were. It was like weird. We had to get that out of there.
If you have the title and the keys, then everything else is easy.
Yeah, we wound up getting it from the seller eventually, but it happened to hit my son. Even the son didn't want to move out, and he left all his stuff there. It was like, oh my God, we had to get someone to get it all out.
You know, when we do houses, I try to donate as much as possible. Furniture, repurpose first. Furniture, stuff to schools, churches, you know, arts and crafts for kids. You know, we also do stuff in the backyard. We do like demo of decks, demo of sheds.
Oh, wow.
Yard cleanup, you know, landscaping. We do a kind of little bit of everything.
To help people get their house ready for sale, to show better, and you also help get rid of the junk.
Yeah,
basically.
We also offer like a cleaning after the clean out. So we'll
really?
Sweep, mop, vacuum, dust.
The homeowner doesn't have time because a lot of times they're gone or away, or that's a good service to know. You kind of all do everything all in one. Yeah,
you know, we say, all right, it's going to take this amount of time. After we do the clean out, we'll come and do the extra cleaning. So it makes it nice and pretty for the realtor. Now, I know there's certain items that have to go to special dumps. Do you take care of that as well? Yeah, so electronics, we take, it comes to like gas cans and paint, we take to Public Works. We try to save as much from going in a dumpster to the landfill as possible. I mean, certain things we can't, there's nothing we can do about it. They have to go in a dumpster. You know, if it's mold or stuff like that, we have to get rid of. And what areas do you service? We service everywhere from Princeton to Atlantic City. We've done jobs in PA, anywhere in between, as long as it's within like a 2-hour radius, you know, where we can get there with at reasonable time. So how did you get into the junk business? Like Fred Sanford, you're not that kind of junk business. You're more like I spent 25 years in the restaurant business, and then when COVID happened, I was doing side work with a neighbor who was a contractor, and I was pretty much his cleanup guy. And I was also reselling to make extra cash on the side. So I met a lady in Mullica Hill. She had a huge property, and I was going to come and get some stuff, resell it. And she's like, I need this cleaned out. And it was 5 acres of stuff. Wow. I was like, well, like American Pickers kind of like stuff like all over the yard. There wasn't much that was worth stuff growing in a tree, and and it was 3 dumpsters later, and I was like, wow, from the yard. Yeah, I was like, maybe we had to take down like a warehouse. There was a cottage that wasn't permitted from the township, so they had to like get that out. Yeah. So it was a big job, but now that I know, there's definitely a need for that. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got 3 calls this morning for jobs tomorrow and Friday. That's good. That's good. You know, you don't realize how much stuff you have, like even just moving in general till you go to move and you start moving or something, like where did all this stuff come from? Like it's like it multiplies in the dark or something, you know? But I had like, I can't even imagine 3 dumpsters from somebody's yard. That's a lot of stuff. That's like, they should have had American Pickers or something, or is anything pickable, or is it just junk? If it's pickable, and I do resell from the stuff I get. You do repurpose or sell it? I'm on Facebook groups that a lot of people who do the same thing in
Looking for this
different
stuff.
states, they're like, why throw out money
Exactly.
when you can make a little bit, you know? And I try not to, you know, sell things for more than they're really worth.
Right. You're not trying to make a killing. You're just trying to keep it from getting destroyed.
Yeah.
You must see a lot of like architectural salvage and stuff like that, which I love, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I've gotten signs. You know, the motorcycle was old. All the parts were there.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm not a builder. I'm a destroyer. So, you know, building things are not my thing. Yeah. So I gave it to one of my workers who wants to do it.
Yeah,
it's a project for him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so, a lot of people like these little projects and stuff. Is there anything else you can think about that might be interesting to people to know about your business?
I mean, you know, people are like, how'd you come up with the name? I'm a big wrestling fan, and people are like, oh, the Hulkster.
I like that.
And I was on vacation in Florida during the summer, and I was going to visit him, but we couldn't. The timing, yeah, because he's got a shop down there. Yeah, he's got Hogan's Beat Shop, and I was going to visit him and say, oh, the name just kind of after you, you know, but. I didn't want to use my name or my kid's name or my last name. I
agree, yeah.
And I didn't want to use the word junk because people sometimes get offended when you say junk.
So how can people get hold of you if they want your services?
I am on Facebook at the JUNKSTER. I'm also on Google, which is the JUNKSTER LLC. And I have a website, thejunksterjc.com. You'll see reviews, jobs, before, after, questions that people have, what do I do, stuff like that.
And I always try to end the show with a funny story you might have or two about your business. I know I don't know if I prepared you from that or not. I can't remember.
Funny.
But you probably have a million of them, right?
Yeah. Well,
what's the one you tell at the cocktail parties or at a party when somebody asks you?
I mean, you said something earlier. It's like, oh, when people leave things behind. Yeah. You'd be surprised what people really leave behind.
Oh, yeah.
You know, money. I haven't come across $1 million in a house. But coins, like John F. Kennedy coins, you wouldn't think people would leave that around. But just things you find. It's just the funny stories.
I had a guy one time, he moved into another house. His wife had passed away and he was like kind of disabled. And thank goodness I hired somebody. This was like probably 30 years ago. I've been doing this a long time. And he left him the cookbooks because he was a chef, the buyer. Wow. And he was going through the cookbooks, and there was all these like $20 and $100 bills in the cookbooks in between the pages. So it was over $2,000 he took to him. He went over and took it to the owner, which thank goodness I knew the guys, so I knew he was honest.
I had to do this at my parents' house, so when I have to do a client that someone passed away, I get a little emotional because I had to do it at my parents' house. Yep. So you know, what I know now, things would have been different, but I could, you know, I like to make sure people feel that I'm trustworthy and that they could talk to me about whatever.
And I would assume you keep a box or two for personal stuff that you find that they might want to keep.
Oh yeah, my garage is full.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you mean if it's a client,
the person?
Absolutely. Yeah. We've come across awards, pins, pennants that had the person's name that passed away. So if I have a connection to someone that's still in the family, hey, I got your dad's military stuff. It's still in the house. You're gonna go get it.
You never know what you're going to find. You find some weird stuff too. I just heard a story.
Definitely.
Of some interesting things that people have cleaned out houses that you would never expect to find. Too. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean things you probably can't say
on TV.
Yeah, on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, use your imagination. There's things there.
Yeah.
So,
I picked up something. Well, I have a funny story about that. So I was helping one of my sellers move when I was finding out there's hardwood floors, and I could identify with this with moving, and there was a bag on the bottom of the floor in the closet, and I'm going through picking up the stuff, trying to pull the rug up to see if there's hardwood floors underneath, and I pulled this big bag out. I'm like, what's this? And I opened up, it was a leg. So here, I didn't know he had a false leg. I'm holding his leg and his eyes got like this big. It's like, oh my God, it was so embarrassing because, it's something, you'd want pulled out, but it was interesting,
We
definitely different.
Yeah, we did a church in Atlantic City that was probably one of the oldest churches in Atlantic City, and they weren't in use because of COVID. So they hired me to do the clean out, and people ransacked the place before we got there, and it was just sad because some of the windows were vintage, really old, and but you know, yeah, just sometimes there are things that just, you know, you feel bad that things happen like that, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today on Is This
Thanks
for
for
Real
having me.
Estate? I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And again, if people want to get hold of you, what's your information again to contact you?
I am the Junkster on Facebook, on Google, the Junkster LLC, and then my website is thejunksterjc.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us today.
You got it.